Greetings all, Ferrari Man 601 here. That is the worst impression I've ever done, and I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for that. But anyway, hi, it's me, Aiden. Yay, how you doing? Welcome back to some Assetto Corsa, because it's time for another mod review. And VRC, probably the modding group for Assetto Corsa, I think, has dropped this version 0. Why did I use the word dropped? I'm not a rapper. They've released version 0.1 beta of the McLaren MP4-20, the 2005 McLaren Formula 1 car, if we were to put it into plain English. Now, I don't really want to go into too much details about the technical specifications about the car because, well, it's a mod review and, you know, Ferrari Man will do that for you. He's a lot better at it than I am, but, you know, if you are around the same age as me, sort of, you know, 25 to 27, maybe up to about the age of 30, this is probably the McLaren. This is, well, I mean, these colours are what you'd expect a McLaren to look like. You've got the West logos there, Siemens, Mobil 1, Mercedes-Benz, back when McLarens were monsters. I mean, the Mercedes engine in the back of this thing was unbelievably powerful, but not very reliable. Let's put it that way. Montoya and Raikkonen, most certainly Montoya, really struggled with this car at the opening parts of the season, but it progressively got better, but by the time it had sorted all the problems out, Renault and Alonso were too far gone to be caught up. But VRC always do a good job, with, especially with textures. Now, we're looking at version 0.1 beta here, but look at these textures. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm zoomed right in here. Get up onto the flat nose that McLaren ran. Like, yeah, okay, that Mercedes logo there is a little bit off in the McLaren bit, but I am zoomed right in. So if we go to a sort of distance that we are going to see the car at a lot of the time, which is probably here, it's probably the closest we're ever going to get. Look at it. Absolutely fantastic. Now, I'll just point out that 2005 was the last year that a McLaren had the black and silver livery of West Tobacco. The European Union decided no more tobacco. Oh, sorry, I've got a bit of a cold. I'll just clean my nose off there. Yeah, you didn't want to hear that. But last year that West were allowed to be on the cars, and West kind of went, yeah, we'll give you the money, but this will be the final year because of the war on smoking and things like that. So Johnny Walker came on board from around July of that year. Now, speaking of Johnny Walker, if we flick through, you can see that they've included some extra liveries. We've got the Johnny Walker logos here, which just says Kimi Raikkonen, because West had gone off sponsoring them that year, or by the end of that year anyway. So, you know, they had to put something on the side pod because, yeah, it just looked a bit bland otherwise. But, you know, looking around the back and getting in on the model, we've got the diffuser here, we've got the Michelin logos, you can see all the carbon fibre detailing here. Moving on to the tyres, just look at the high quality there. No real blur. Got some on the Hilton logo, and on this, I don't know what logo this is. If you know what logo that is, that sort of flying horse, let me know. But you got to remember, this year you weren't allowed to change tyres. You were only allowed to refuel. That caught Ferrari out in the early part of the season, and Bridgestone for that matter. But by the US Grand Prix, well, we know what happened there. Higher nose cone, because they tried to reduce the downforce, and we've got the beginnings of the famous McLaren bullhorns, which effectively just channeled air onto the rear wing, and all these other appendages that started to appear on Formula 1 cars around that time, just to try and deflect as much air as possible onto the rear wing and through to the rear diffuser. But that's, yeah, I don't really want to go into too much detail about the technical specifications of the car. I'm just trying to show you what it looks like. Now, we're going into the cockpit now, but I'm using TrackOut today. It's my first review with TrackOut, to be honest, and so we'll be able to have a really good look around the cockpit. I just can't wait to get into this car and drive. So we'll go and do that now, actually. We'll go to Silverstone, because that's got a good range of corners to really throw this car about, and I really want to give this car a good throw, just to see what's going on. So, yeah, let's get down to Silverstone and see what this mod can do in its early stages. Okay, so I've been out and done a couple of reconnaissance laps just to make sure that the sound's okay. I'm using my trusty TrackOut so we can look around in the inside of the car. We've got some really cool details here, like that track map there. Can you see that? We've got the MP4-20 coach builder stamp down there, and all the buttons and switches that a lot of it's quite similar to the MP4-20, which is the 2007 car that I drove around Bathurst. But let's see how this compares to the Renault. There's not a lot to say here, about the inside of the car, but we've got 7 forward gears and 1 for reverse. Got a variation of tyres from super soft all the way up to hard. I'm going to leave them on the softs just for, you know, purposes. And we've got 30 litres worth of fuel, so that's good for about 6 laps. Traction control. Right, now the traction control, excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold. If you put it on 6, you've got the most amount of traction control. 1 is the least amount of traction control, despite the fact that 1 is a greater intervention of control according to the game. But VRC reverses it, because going off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 makes a lot more sense than off most amount of control downwards. So I'm going to leave it on there on 3. Ugh, just use my hanky here. Ah, I hate this cold. Anyway, aerodynamics, front and rear wing, well, that's the usual stuff. Camber and toe and your alignment. Dampers, differential, or your drivetrain. Generic stuff like your brake bias, brake power, steering assist, which, you know, I haven't got that turned on, so we're okay. Suspension, and all your secondary suspensions, and your pit stop strategy. So let's not mess about too much. Let's go for our first drive in anger in this thing. So I've, like you say, like the sim says, I've already done a couple of laps just to make sure the sounds are okay, and I've checked all that and everything's cool. So let's go. I basically just cruised around on like half throttle, but we're going to actually put our foot down now. Yes! It's how a Formula 1 car should sound. But unfortunately, these days have long gone. We've got to accept that hybrids are now the future. Miles an hour down the Wellington Straight, not bad. Turning in for Brooklands, so maybe turning a bit too far. The amount of understeer isn't deadly. It's there, but nothing to cry to the engineers about. Shorter wheelbase than its rivals, so it definitely feels nimble. As you expect from a car of this era. Need a slightly shorter 7th gear. 4th gear for Stowe. Mess that up. So used to taking that corner in 2nd gear in a hybrid. Right, let's do a time lap. Front end grip is needed, probably soften the front springs. But the default setup is fantastic. It's drivable. Oh, my nose is streaming. Oh, beautiful. Doesn't take long to get used to. Not looking to set track records as usual. Just letting you know how good this car is, and it is good. Oh, I just need to sort that understeer out. Bit of a lock up and a front end slide. Don't need to worry about rear end grip on the acceleration because the traction control will handle it. That's better. dear, what's wrong with me today? I know the car will do it with the right setup. It's just not quite there yet. Force feedback's good. Whoa. Slow speed understeer. Can't wait to hit this car from the outside. That's better. Alright, now I've got used to the car. So fun to drive. If only it had been reliable, it would have decimated the field that year. I don't want to stop. I think I'm going to have to stop because I've got 8 litres of fuel left. Understeer. The understeer coming through Luffield isn't anything to cry about, but in club it definitely is. Yeah. We'll have a play with the setup in a minute. Alright, so I've done a bit of a setup tweak. Just shortened a couple of these gears. Soft tyres as before, same amount of fuel, same amount of whatever, traction control. Added a click of front wing. I've not changed anything here, and the only other thing I've changed really is click off the front anti-roll bar. And I think that's it. Oh wait, I'll soften the front suspension as well. So, alright, let's see if this changes anything. It probably won't, but reset the old track out. good this thing sounds. Better. A lot better. Yes, that's what I wanted. How the car just echoes through the countryside. That's the best way to get through that, with my driving ability anyway. I feel I've got too much turn in there. Better than it was. It was already good, but now it's even better. This car is absolutely unbelievable. Brake a bit too early on that one. You can't see this from where you're sat, but I'm smiling. Alright, one more lap, one more lap. It's addictive. This is the most addictive car for Assetto Corsa. It's consistent, it's grippy. It makes a crap driver like me look good. Makes me feel I can achieve stuff. the tyres are starting to go off. Which doesn't really make sense considering these tyres were designed to last the entire race. I want to finish on one clean lap. One last clean lap, come on. Yeah. That's not the clean lap I wanted. Let's try again. Right, one clean lap. Or one last clean lap. Maybe braked a bit too early. It's time to find. Setup needs a bit of tweaking for my personal liking, but straight out the box, this thing is incredible. So that's the line I prefer through there. Feedback is amazing as well. Gives you what you need when you need it. Fuel lights on. Ah! Almost. Traction control saved me there. Alright, we'll have to end it there, I think. And that was the McLaren MP4-20 by VRC. It will cost you $3, which is equivalent to about £2.35 if you want to donate. Well, you have to donate to them if you want to drive it, but it is well worth the money. And it's only ever going to get better than it already is. So, until next time, thank you very much for watching. I've been Aidan Millward. Please remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more like this. And I'll see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.